I'm back from AnimeVerse Houston. So the con was great. Everything else about Houston sucked. So allow me to regale you with my Saturday in Houston. I arrive in Houston at around like 11 a.m. It's like, okay, cool, check-in is at 3. So just to check to make sure, I go into my hotel and they go, hey, our power is out throughout the entire building except for the lobby, and it's not expected to come back on anytime soon. So we're gonna transfer you over to our sister location, which it was in the same parking lot, essentially. I was like, okay, you know what? That's cool, whatever. And I was just like, hey, is it all right if I, leave my car here, in the meantime? It's like, yeah, you're a customer, you're checking in, so yes, you could leave your car here. So once that was done, walked down to, it's about 3/4 of a mile from the hotel I'm staying at to, the, NRG Center where the AnimeVerse was being held. I get there, and I get my badge, and I meet Alex, and Alex is a super cool dude. And like we get to hanging out and talking, and it's amazing to meet him. It was incredible seeing the amount of people lined up to get his and the rest of the cast's autographs during that. So at one point I says to Alex, I says, hey, at 3 p.m. I gotta run back to my hotel so I can check in, and then I'll be back and everything will be good. And he's like, cool, great. So then I go back to my hotel. I make the 3/4 mile walk back to my hotel, or rather to the sister hotel. Like I said, it's in the same parking lot. Go to the sister hotel. I go to check in, and I'm just, they're like, can I see your ID? Yada, yada, yada. Give him the ID. Guy behind the counter goes, I'm not seeing your reservation. And at this point, I'm like, well, I did kind of everything last minute, so maybe I didn't actually, confirm the reservation. But then I'm looking back on my text messages, and I see that it's like, hey, we're excited to have you staying at so-and-so hotel, so please complete the pre-check-in and it'll make, everything go a lot more smoothly. And I'm like, well, I have these texts and all that. Is that good enough? He's like, nope, I need your confirmation number. I'm scouring through my email, trying to find some evidence that I've made this reservation, and I just can't find. There's a line forming behind me. I can't find it. And so I'm like, listen, I'm just gonna step out of line and figure out what I can do with this. And he's like, cool, fine, that's great. I'm sitting there, I'm still scrolling through, I'm seeing nothing of like a confirmation message or of anything. The only information I have, I don't even have a bank statement saying that I booked this hotel room, because they don't charge you until after the stay is done. So I'm like, I guess I didn't book it, so I'll book it again. Unfortunately, it was a very simple process because they still had rooms left over, and I was still getting the convention price. So same amount that I would have paid even if I had booked that day or whatever. So I go back up. I go up to a different person at this point, and I'm like, hey, I've been having trouble with this, but I made a new reservation. Can I check in? Also, I'm drenched with sweat because of the walk to and from the convention. So then she's like, yeah, let me pull up your information. And she gets this look on her face, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I just made the reservation, so maybe it's not in the system. And she goes, well, Mr. O'Grady, this is a little strange, but you have, there are 2 reservations in here. And I was just like, so it was in there the whole time and the other dude just couldn't find it. And she was like, yeah. And it's like, is there any reason why I didn't get like an email or anything? And she goes, well, looking at this first reservation here, it looks like that there was some sort of like hyperlink in front of my email address. So I never got sent the confirmation to confirm that I was there. So I had double booked. And they were just like, it's fine, it's okay, we'll just cancel the new one, we'll stick with the old one and get you in there. And I'm like, great, cool, awesome, fantastic. I get up there, and oh man, their sister location, I don't want to bash on it too hard, but my god, it was a dump. I go into the bathroom, because the best way that you can determine how good a hotel room is by checking out the bathroom. How well do they keep the bathroom? How is the bathroom, like, holding up? And it's like, to their credit, it was clean. However, the biggest red flag I saw was that the drain stopper was painted. So you know that's been there for a long time. At this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna jump in the shower. I'm just gonna jump in the shower, do a quick rinse because I'm covered in sweat, change my shirt, and head back there. Everything goes great. I head back there, head back to the convention, nothing goes wrong. Convention's great. Like I said, convention is still awesome. You know, Alex introduced me to a couple more members of the cast. I got to meet, Michael, I got to meet, Amanda, and that was really neat. I got to meet, Alex's handler, Kyle, who brought a king cake. If you've never had that one, it's basically, it's like a cinnamon bun, but more. And it was delicious. Fast forward to the end of the night, and like we're discussing plans, and like we're looking at at weather and whatnot. And it turns out there is a tornado watch in effect around in the area. So we're just like thinking of plans. And at one point, I'm just like, you know what? I spent so much driving up here, and I'm stressed from the hotel. I just want to go to bed and crash. And so I'm just like, you know, trying to like figure out like plans and whatnot, and I was just like, hey, I'm gonna go back to the hotel. I'm gonna pass out for the night. I'll see you tomorrow. And Alex was like, cool, yeah, we'll see you then. So I go to leave, and I call a Lyft to try to come pick me up. And you know, it's like, all right, it's $16 for like for the 3/4 mile drive because it's raining out. It's also raining out. I didn't mention that, but during the tornado watch, it was also raining. Heavy downpour. There was thunder and lightning. I got assigned a driver, and it was like, great. They're finishing up this fair, and they'll come pick you up when they're done. The fair finishes up, and then I get a text saying your rider has decided to cancel. Okay, well, I guess I'll wait for the next one. Same thing. Person finishes up fair, sees where I'm at, cancel. This happens like 5 more times at least. Finally, I get one person who's like, yeah, you know what? I will go down there and pick him up. So he's starting to make the trip out, and I'm keeping an eye on the tracker because at this point I'm like, I'm anxious. I'm impatient. I've been waiting here for an hour at least. And I'm looking at the tracker, and there's one point where he's just like stopped, and he stopped, and he stopped, and I have no idea what's going on. Then I get oh no, not even that. I realize, I look at my phone, and I realize that there was a phone call and a message that got blocked, because like nowadays your iPhone tries to protect you from spam, so it's like, oh, this is potential spam, we won't let it ring. Turns out it was the guy from Lyft. So I listened to the message, and he's like, hey, this street is closed. And it was like the street that he was about to turn on. This street is closed. It's like it's about a half mile away near where like, and I don't know if it's the only turnoff to get to the NRG Center. Yeah, he's like, this road is closed. What are we gonna do? And I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, I just want the ride back. So I'm like, hey, stay there, and I'll come to you. So I got my satchel on me. I put my satchel over my head to keep myself as dry as possible in the rain, and begin the walk over there. I finally get over there, and the guy was right. The road leading up to the convention center was closed. So I just get it, and I'm just like, yeah, just take me back to the hotel. I don't want. There's nothing more I want more than to just be done with this night. So we get to driving, and oh my god, traffic was awful. Not only was traffic awful, but even more roads were closed. So we started taking longer ways around. Oh. And finally, we're at the home stretch. I think we're like less than 1/10 of a mile away, where the only thing separating the car from the hotel is going under a bridge that goes under the highway. Guess what? That road under the bridge is closed! At this point, the rain has stopped, so I'm like, dude, just drop me off here. We'll, like, the fare is over. I'll pay as though it was the full fare. I just want to get back. And he's like, you sure? And I'm like, yes. So I get out, I start walking, I get back into the hotel room, and I'm like, finally. Oh my god, finally. All this can end. We could be done with everything that was the city of Houston, everything outside of the convention. The convention was a glowing beacon of hope in an otherwise incredibly shitty situation. Get to the hotel room, open the door, get in, plop down in the bed, and I just like begin relaxing. Then I hear a ticking noise, like tick, 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 tick. And I'm like, what the hell is that? What is that? So I get up and I'm looking around, I'm trying to pinpoint where exactly this is. And I walk over one place and I feel something hit the top of my head. I look up and the ceiling is leaking. Not in one, but 2 places. And I'm just like, okay, this place is a shithole. There's a convention in town. It's possible that they're booked up for the night. I'm just gonna call this in and report to them that there's a leak in their ceiling. Called out to the front office, and I'm like, hey, there's a leak in the ceiling. SPL Nucker, thank you for the 127 months of tier 1. There's a leak in the ceiling. Just wanted you guys to know that for maintenance things, you know, for the fact that, like, you know, you want to get this patched up as soon as possible once I'm gone, because, you know, otherwise it's gonna cause more problems. And he's like, okay, in that case, we can move you to another room. And I'm like, that would be great, thank you, thank you. And I was not expecting them to be able to do that, so they did it, and I'm very gracious for it. Finally, I get into this new room, and I just lie down the bed, and I just pass out for the night, and that was probably the worst experience I've had traveling ever. The final fuck you that the hotel gave to me is when I woke up in the morning. I got my bags, got everything, gathered everything up, went downstairs for breakfast. You know, it's your basic like shitty complimentary breakfast, you know, like powdered eggs kind of thing, and like the powdered eggs have been reconstituted to make scrambled eggs. French toast that was like way too damp and didn't have any form to it. So I just grab some breakfast, and as I'm grabbing breakfast, and I'm standing there, and I'm starting to like scoop the eggs onto my plate, I realize that the top of my head is wet. I look up, and meanwhile, this is 4 floors down from where I was staying, where the ceiling was leaking. Apparently, it wasn't enough because the water had gotten into the air conditioner and was starting to drip out of the vents onto my head. So I go back to my table, I eat my breakfast, I check out, and I just get the hell out of there. I was only at the convention for 2 days. I only stayed at the hotel for 1 night. But as much as a shit show as the navigation of the city of Houston around the NRG stadium and arena and center and all that, and the issue with Lyft canceling my order, my rides over and over again, and the hotel not being able to find my reservation. The con was great. I had immensely enjoyed the con. So what I'm saying is, if you plan to go to AnimeVerse Houston next year, really look at the places you're staying.